Next, we have Mr. Michael Girell, who will be speaking on the topic, Cultivating Cooperation, AgriTech's Transfer for a Shared Future. Michael is an entrepreneur, researcher, and the head of Oxbridge, a leading technology transfer and innovation hub based in Tel Aviv. With over 2 decades of global experience, he has driven cross-border innovations across the sector. Please give him a huge round of applause and welcome Michael on the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's really hard mission to be here after the lunch, but I'll do my best. My name is Michael Girell. I'm CEO of Oxbridge. And actually, the thing that we're gonna discuss today will be related to technology. And actually, I really was inspired by wonderful speeches about amazing technology that you guys presented here. We will discuss about investments, and the most important thing is how to match between them, and actually how to gap the technology that really will achieve the field. Okay, agriculture today is actually at the crossroad. We know that the climate change is not fun. We know about aging of rural population, and this is around, that's an amazing number. And unequal access to technology. We mean that many communities do not really have access to innovations and to things that we face in other places. So, the future with agriculture looks not really amazing, because by 2050, the demand of the growth will be about 60%. So the meaning is that we will need much more food in very near future, right? And actually, just 20% of the local farmers really use technologies. It's amazing. Yeah, and about age, the current age of agriculture farmers is more than 60 years. So, we do face innovation gap, and this is a question how to fix it. So, many times brilliant solutions are still isolated from the farmers, and the question is how to make the bridge. So we really don't lack of ideas. We lack of the bridges and how to use those in real life. So we really care about how to bring societies together, because if we will not turn AgriTech into shared opportunity, the meaning is that we will have, in near future, we'll have 2 societies. One is that eats, and another one is that growing. And we don't really want to live in such world. The promise of smart agriculture, and here is a very interesting point. We discuss about different topics like AI, like innovative technologies, but the major idea that we think we have to deal with is actually that those technologies and those tools should help people and not replace the people. And many times, especially when it comes to AI, for instance, people do not recognize that the same people will have to remain working in the same fields. So let me introduce what we do. So Oxbridge is pretty unique company because we deal with high tech, and we get like 8 years ago into AgriTech and food tech as well. We operate globally. We work in absolutely different areas. So we very active in Europe. We work in United States, and our major focus today on developing markets. And one amazing markets we have is actually China. So we do work and we actually bridge with governments, we work with universities, we work with accelerators and with investors, because it's really important to have, you know, to have money in order to develop amazing things. The one of the most promising things we have is actually the technology transfer hub that we created in China. So we made it in Hebei province. Hebei is very interesting place because it's located around Beijing. So it's really effective, and the province really looking for technologies and looking for innovations. So what we did, we actually trying to make a technology transfer from Western technologies, from Western startups, from companies that have proven products into the China. So we actually talking about real collaboration and not just for selling products. So let me tell you something that's we actually initiated by ourselves, and unfortunately I didn't find such a model with any other company, because when we started our operations we tried to find out what others do. And it was amazing to know that no other company actually considering the mini exit model. What this model actually does? That's interesting, because let's say you're a good startup or you're a good company which have very advanced product. But let's say the world is huge and you need to find out where you want to focus and where you want to put your efforts in order to bring the good markets. So what we said there is no limits, and it's possible to deal with limited license. The meaning of limited license is actually that when you go to the tough markets that's really hard to operate at, it's not necessary to do everything by your own. It's possible to make a cooperation, and it's possible to license that market, and the meaning is that you will keep all ownership on your company and on your product, and even you will not even if you not will sell your IP, and everything actually kept in the company, but in the same time it's like a real exit. It's like a real exit, but actually limited to a specific market. Okay, so that's a business model that we have. So we scale globally while keeping the control. And honestly, China is one of really complicated markets. It's really not easy market to get into. And I would say there are a few rules that we follow into in order to lead in that market. So the first one is trust, because trust is something that's really create a good cooperation in terms of academic, business, mutual development, and so on. We always think about local partnership, because local partnership create another jobs, create local production, and local people really recognize it as a huge advantage. And of course, demonstration. It's really important to have local footprint and long-term presence. I would say our partners really appreciate our footprint and appreciate that we support them for many years. Why China? So first of all, it's one of the biggest markets in the world. That's no question. And I would say that China today desperately needs innovation, desperately needs new products, and desperately needs Western experience in order to be implemented, but with some localization tools. So they really have strong policy, and they really support innovation cooperation in all levels. And we work with local governments that's looking for proven Western technologies. And of course, when it comes to some province, like Hebei province, that actually goes for very fast adaptation, and then it will be possible to remake in other places as well. So our experience in China is actually establishing a local partnership in Hebei province, and we work with other provinces as well, but I would say this is one of our biggest success stories we have. So we have demonstration farms and R&D centers over there. We have good investing programs working there, and of course it's very important to have a transparent process, so all parts should understand what other does. And yeah, we have around 8 years already experience with China, and the meaning is that we work very closely with local governments and with industries. And we have amazing support from Hebei province, and this is a gateway to national cooperation. Yeah, we have tech transfer model, and the meaning is that if we start with some province and we have the commitment over there, the meaning that other provinces actually go in and learn from that province what they do. And actually, that actually makes this province stronger in comparison to others. So, and yeah, and it's good to have a demonstration center over there, and then it goes to the full industrial adaptation. And I wanna show you just one success story that I would share with you. We've built a vegan meat factory, and the funny part is that this was for a nation that loves real meat. Because, you know, in China especially, they love meat, they talk about that, you know. And, but we found how to make it. First of all, we found it as a healthy product, and healthy from all, from, you know, started from kids and elderly people in sports and so on. But we localized taste for local customers, and this actually what made us to adopt sustainable local production. And then the meaning is that that company actually made mini exit, and then it grew into the full-scale success. Yeah, another thing that's I would like to mention here is actually the idea of cooperation. I mean, how university labs could go to the global fields. And you know, we work with a lot of universities across the world, and we see the same problem. we see the same problem. We see the problem that bright ideas are staying in the labs. They're not moving forward. And the answer is that it's really hard to get brilliant ideas and to commercialize it, to make them working in the real world. So, and then we definitely, sometimes when we can, we help to build, to test and to validate those progress, and then to create the startup from the brilliant ideas, and then actually going global through the technology transfer. Again, technology transfer, we see it as a very powerful tool, not to leave the brilliant technologies in the labs. We see it as a tool how to bring it to the real field and to the real life. We love to earn money, but I would say that the major thing we see here is actually the impact that beyond the business. First, we definitely trying to strengthen food security. That's an important thing for us. And empowering smallholders and creating local employment. And guys, yeah, that's a real thing, to think about local people, that they will have what to do tomorrow and the day after. And of course, we promoting green transformation, and the major thing is actually to build the global trust. Yeah, and I would say here is 4 things that I'm inviting you to discuss about, is actually to join us in things we do, and that's related to startups. Because if you have a brilliant product, we here to help in our technology transfer hub, and to see if it's possible to make a mini exit that I just mentioned. That good to investors, because that's the option to make the global influence, and not just to invest into some particular product. Because when we go into technology transfer, it goes to real field in different countries. It calls to action to the government, because we have to localize technology efficiency. Yeah, and for partners, because we really looking forward to adapt in our model that we have in other areas. We do think that the model we built in China could be really useful in other regions. So yeah, we're here to help, and I'm looking forward to hear from you. And yeah, and I'll be happy to have your questions, and please. Thank you, thank you. Yes. Yes, ma'am, please.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm from BioAqua Garden. We are a startup. We have intellectual property, WIPO, EPO, USA utility patent, Canada, UK. And one of the worries for China was going there and how to secure that our intellectual property is protected without getting copied and ripped off, basically. Thank you.
Could you please specify what
like intellectual property, how can we protect in China?
That's the intellectual property.
Yes, that's the biggest problem with Chinese, that they copy without.
Yeah. Thank you for your question. It's wonderful. Yeah, I would say that this information related to IP in China is a little bit outdated. I mean, it's right, but it was right like 20 years ago. To those days, there are a lot of money going around China. So for Chinese today, it's much more easy and cheap to buy something, to buy new technology, than to make reverse engineering. It's just much more cheap. That's the first thing. The second thing is actually that Chinese have very strong IP regulations. Very strong IP regulations. I would say that it's comparable to United States, for example. And what we know from our experience, that the company that's buying or developing a new technology has Chinese regulation, which is they register their product, and that actually promise, I would say, more or less like in US or EU level, to protect their IP. That's what's going on today. So you're right, but not those days. Thank you. Yeah, yes, please, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Susan Payne from Holistic Planet. Can you tell us the number of startups that you have housed or you have introduced over your 8 years, and where the majority of those startups have come from? What region, particularly?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Okay, we don't have such a big experience, so we have just a couple dozen of startups, technology that we introduced to Chinese market. But I know about at least hundreds of success stories. That's true. The only question how to make it. Those startups will try to create collaboration by themselves, or they will use the program like we operate, and that's a major difference. Yeah, and actually the problem is the cost of the business development, the entry cost, because the ticket is pretty high. Yeah, and so we know a lot of success stories working around, and again, as I said, Chinese really need more innovation, more good technologies. In fact, almost all production those days are going around China, but the question is that many Western companies they make a production, but IP is not actually belongs to Chinese, and they want to produce by themselves. So that's a major question. That's why I would say Chinese, and especially Chinese government, they appreciate so much the cooperation with the companies who actually wanna cooperate and putting force together, and that's I would say this is the best way of cooperation. Not trying to look at China like a production facility. It's much better to looking for cooperation and for joint forces.
Thank you so much.